Hi, it's Meg. I'm a lymphedema physical therapist, and today we're going to be going over the manual lymph drainage for people with lymphedema and also compression bandaging. So we're starting with manual lymph drainage, and our patient is lying down comfortably on the bed or the couch, and he is undressed as much as you can get him. So shirt off, and you want to be skin to skin. So you start at the neck, and I put my fingers right in the triangle of the neck. So both hands on both sides of the triangles. And I'm doing just gentle, slow circles, stretching and relaxing the skin. Very slow, about 6 to 7 repetitions. And then I come up just below the ears. So my fingers are on both sides of his neck underneath the ears, and I'm gently doing slow circles, stretching and relaxing the skin.
Please, may I have your attention, please? Fire drill all clear. I repeat, fire drill all clear.
And then I come behind the shoulder blades. So both of my hands are on his shoulder blades in the back, and I'm just doing gentle circles slowly on his shoulder blades, stretching and relaxing the skin. And then I come to the outside of the shoulders. So my hands are on both of his shoulders, stretching and relaxing the shoulder sockets. And then last part on the neck is back at the triangle. So the first thing that we started with, gentle circles, 6 to 7 repetitions. Okay, so that's always where we start, is in the neck. Next, we go to the belly, and we're going to do a grid, which is starting on the left lower part of the belly. So if you think of the belly as left lower, right upper, and right and left upper. So we start in the left lower quadrant of the belly. And I'm using the heel of my hand to come in and up towards the belly button. Gently and slow, pushing in and up in the left lower quadrant towards the belly button. And then I come to the right lower quadrant using the heel of my hand gently towards the belly button 6 or 7 times. And then I switch hands and come to the right upper quadrant, and I go down and in. And then I come just above the belly button, right in the center line, up and in. Sorry, up and down. And then the last one is the left upper quadrant, down and in, 6 or 7 times. And then I come back to the first position, the left lower quadrant, in and up. So just to review on that one, left lower quadrant, right lower quadrant, switch hands, right upper quadrant, middle, and left upper quadrant, and finish in the left lower quadrant. Okay, next is the abdominal breathing, using the diaphragm to pump the lymph fluid up to the heart. So we have the patient do deep abdominal breaths, puffing the belly up as they inhale, and then pulling their belly button down to their spine as they exhale. So go at your own pace. Inhale. I start at the belly button, and I push down as they inhale. And do little circles, and then give resistance as they push up. And then I come to the upper, I have to start that whole part again because I forgot something.
As a matter of fact, if you would like to start over where the sink was used, that would be fine.
And where was that?
So
You were just doing
I was reviewing.
You were going over.
Okay. Okay. So let's review the 4 quadrants of the belly. We started in the left lower quadrant with the right hand, and then the right lower quadrant, And then switch hands and do the right upper quadrant. And then come to the center once. And then the left upper quadrant. And then you finish with your other hand in the left lower quadrant. Now, abdominal work is for the diaphragm, which it goes right through the middle of the belly and pierces the cisterna chyli, which is the main drainage portal for the lymphatic vessels. So we want to have the patient do abdominal breathing. And you think of the belly as an M, like the McDonald's M. So M looks like this: up, middle, up, and down. So one more time, McDonald's M, up, middle, up, and down. You're going to hit each of those points. So this is the middle of the M, this is the top of the arch, this is the bottom of the M. Then you come back up to the top, come back to the middle, go to the other side of the top of the M, down to the bottom of the M, back up to the top, and finish in the middle. So that sequence looks like this. The patient does deep abdominal breaths, puffing their belly up as they inhale, and then pulling their belly button to their spine as they exhale. Puffing as they inhale, I put my hand on the belly button and go down and give a force downward as they exhale, and then I give another force downward as they inhale. And then I come to the top of the M and I push down as they exhale, little circles. I push down as they inhale. I switch hands, go to the bottom of the M, push down as they exhale, push down as they inhale. I come back to the top of the hand, switch top of the M, switch hands, push down as they exhale, push down as they inhale, switch hands back to the middle of the M, push down, inhale, push down. Now I come to the other side of the M, the top, push down, switch hands, little circles, push down as they inhale, come to the bottom of the M, push down, little circles, inhale, push down, come to the top of the M, switch hands, push down as they inhale, and I come back to the middle of the M, push down. And one more time, inhale. Hopefully your patient hasn't hyperventilated, and you push back down one more time. Okay, so that's abdominal work. Next we come to the inguinal nodes, or the groin nodes, if we're going to do a leg. So I come just underneath the shorts, and I put my hand right in the crease of the patient's hip, so right in the groin area. And I'm just going to do gentle circles, stretching and relaxing the skin 6 or 7 times. That's to open up the channels of the right lower leg. And then I come to the thigh area, and I'm going to do pumps. So starting from the knee up to the groin, switching hands, stretching and relaxing the skin. And I'm not sliding on the skin. See the difference? That's sliding. And this is stretching and relaxing the skin. My hand stays stable on the skin as I push up. Nice and slow towards the inguinal nodes that you just opened up. And then I come to the inside of the thigh. And then I come to the outside of the thigh. And on this side, I'm just doing little circles with my hands.
We're not able to represent that accurately this way, are we?
That's okay.
You wanna do-
And then I come back to the top of the thigh, doing the scoops again. Next on the knee, you take your whole hand, you just put it right over the kneecap and do circles, stretching and relaxing the skin. And then go on the inside of the knee with both hands, and you're going to do circles there. That's a huge area of lymphatic drainage. And now you go to the ankle, and you're going to do from the ankle to the knee. Next, scoops, just like we did on the thigh, switching hands towards the knee, from the ankle to the knee. Use your whole hand to get the whole leg on both sides of the leg. Nice and slow. Then you come to the ankle and you put both hands on either side of the ankle bone, circles. And then on the top of the foot, you put your whole hand on the top of the foot and do circles. I'm using just the pads of my fingers. And then finally the toes. You just take your fingers in a pincher grip and stretch and relax the skin of the toes one at a time. You can use 2 fingers or 3 fingers. I'm just stretching the skin towards the ankle. And then go to the next toe, stretch the skin and relax. 6 or 7 times. Next toe. And you don't have to do the pinky toe. It doesn't really have any lymphatic vessels. So just the first through the 4th toes. And now we've done the whole leg, and so you're going to reverse what you've just done, not as extensively, just a little bit of each of those. So back on the top of the foot. A few times back on the ankle. And then gently come up the leg. The top of the knee. The inside of the knee. The top of the thigh. And then we do the inguinal nodes one more time. So hand in the crease of the hip. Circles. And then I would have the patient flip over, please. So we've had the patient flip over now, and now we're going to address the back side of the leg. So when the patient flips, then you flip sides, because we're still working on his right leg. And so now we're going to start from the knee to the hip, because we always start proximally. So you're going to go from the knee, just scoops this way. Always try and be right on the skin and not on top of clothes. Switching hands gently and slowly scooping. And then the very back of the knee, my whole hand, the pads of my fingers are on the back of the knee. And now I come from the ankle to the knee. So I'm going to do scoops this way. Switching hands. Okay, so we've done the back of the leg. Now I'm going to just do a quick review of the back of the leg. You don't have to do the full extensive part again, just a few on each side. The back of the knee, the back of the leg. Okay, and now we're going to flip the patient over again. When the patient flips, you flip. So I switch sides, and I would once again go to the groin. A few circles there. And then you always finish in the neck. And you put your pillow back so the patient's neck is comfortable. Okay. And then we are in the triangle again. Gentle circles at the neck. just under the ear on both sides, behind the shoulder blades on both sides, on the outsides of the shoulders, and then finish in the triangle of the neck. Okay, and that concludes the manual lymphatic drainage section of this video. Thank you.
1, 2, 3.
Hi, it's Meg again, and we're discussing compression wrapping for lymphedema patients. So we have our patient sitting up high, if you can do that at your home, either on the bed or the couch, or if that's not possible, have them sit on the couch and you can sit on the floor. And you have to have your supplies ready to go. It goes a lot faster if you do it that way. So if we're going to do just a lower leg from the toes to the knee, then you need to have these bandages in front of you. So you have the small, the medium, one small, one medium, and then 3 large size bandages. And if you're going to do the upper leg, then you need 4 of the extra large bandages. Okay, so for lower leg, small, medium, and 3 large. And for upper leg, 4 extra large. Okay, so the first thing we do is wash the patient's skin to make sure that there's no bugs. It's cold. And you can use any soap, body wash, whatever works for you. They're going to be wrapped for several days, so it has to be as clean as possible. Okay, next thing you do is moisturize. So you can use any lotion, moisturizer, and just moisturize their whole leg. And the next layer is the stockinette layer, and this is like sock. You wear socks in your shoes, you wear stockinette under your compression wraps. So you want to have something that's long enough to go up the entire leg, or 2 pieces would work too. So roll up your stockinette, leave a little bit of space at the end of the toes, and roll it all the way up. And can you pull that up real high, as high as you can go? Maybe a little bit more, give it more space there. Okay, that's good. Make sure there's no wrinkles. And then you roll back so you can get to the toes. And you're going to do your toe wrap first. So I just put their foot on my knee. And with every single roll, you want to make sure you roll it this way with this part to the skin versus this way. It takes a lot of extra effort to unroll it each time, but if you put it down like a snail, then you just unroll it on the patient's skin. So for the toe wrap, you start over the base of the foot and you anchor it. And then you come to the end of the nail bed. So the base of the nail bed, I'm not covering the nail at all, just go across the nail bed and then wrap around, cover the entire toe, go through, and then you're going to overlap the toe just about 50% until the whole toe is covered, and then you come and you make an X. So see there's an X right there. So you cross over, make an X, go around the foot, and then come back around. And now you go to the next toe, all the way down to the base of the nail bed. Go over the toe, overlap 50%, go all the way to the bottom of the toe, and then make another X. And then cross over and repeat. You're going to repeat on all the toes except the little toe. Cross over, make an X, go around, last toe to the base of the nail bed, overlap 50%, come to the bottom of the toe, and then with your extra make an X and just finish up here. You don't want to have a finish down here on the toes because it'll just flop and get caught. So make sure you finish up on the foot. You pull your stockinette over to keep it in place. Next layer is your Artiflex layer, and this is foam or cotton material. And this is to go over the bony prominences like the ankle, the heel, and the foot. And you just roll it over all those areas, all the way to the base of the toe. Just patting to make it comfortable for the patient. Okay, next thing is your foam. So you should have your foam pieces cut by us, and I have a front of the shin and a back of the shin piece. So the front of the shin always has that cutout for the shin bone, and the back piece does not. And we should have labeled them for you. So the back of the shin, so if you would just hold that right there for me. And this is the front of the shin, you just hold them together. And it should be a little cutout for the front of the ankle. And now you take this white gauze material, and again, you lie it down like a snail, and you're gonna bring it around, and this just anchors the foam in place, acts like a third hand. And what I'm doing is pushing the air out of the foam as I bring it around. And I'm just covering all the gray as much as I can. And I should note that these foam pieces that I have were cut for my leg, so they're a little too small for my model's leg today, and that's why there's a gap there. So now you have your foam pieces attached. Now you take your foot piece, which looks like this. This will go on the top of the foot, comes around to the ankle, and now you roll back the stockinette over the foot piece, and that just keeps it clean. Okay, now we're ready to use the compression bandages. So I take my smallest comprolan. This is the 6 centimeter comprolan. I'm going to put it on the top of the foot. And this one is called the Roman sandal, like in Jesus' day. It's like a Roman sandal. So the patient's going to flex their foot and bend your knee for me. Right there, okay. So you come to the top of the foot. You go around the base, anchor, and then you come around the heel like a Roman sandal. And then you cross over and make an X. See the X? You come around the back of the foot, and now you close off that X so you can't see it. And then you repeat. Come across the ankle like the Roman sandal. I push out the air in the foam as I switch hands. Push out the air, make an X, and then close the X. And repeat. Around the ankle, Roman sandal, make an X, and then close the X. And with the extra, you want to come up towards the ankle. Don't leave the extra down here at the foot. You have your tape all ready to go, so you can tape it down without having to undo pieces of tape. Next bandage is the medium size. This is the 8 centimeter comprolan. And this one is called heel, ankle, sole. So once around the heel, the patient keeps his foot flexed. Switch hands once around the ankle. And if you notice, I switch hands, I give it a little tug. Switch hands, give it a little tug, and that gets the compression into it. So heel, ankle, and sole. And I'm just covering up all the white areas. Heel, ankle, little tug, sole. And with the extra, you come up. Okay, our foot's all done. Next bandage is the large size, so 10 centimeter comprolan, large. You're going to come on the ankle and go up to the knee with 3 different layers. You start it like a snail, Give a little tug, and this one you're just going to do a spiral pattern on the leg. You're overlapping 50%, spiraling up the leg, little tug as you switch hands, pushing out the air from the foam, and you want to finish just at the top. You shouldn't see much gray. Tape it down. That's our first layer of the lower leg. Next layer is your second, number 10. This one, I do the herringbone design. So you start up with the end, you give it a tug, go all the way up, cross over, come all the way back down. Make a 90-degree angle there. Go all the way back up, cross over, come all the way back down, and making little X's, overlapping 50% each time. And then I tape it down. Now, if that's too hard, would you roll that one back up for me? The other option is the opposite spiral. So the first spiral I did this way with the roll in my right hand, you would just switch hands and now put it on your other hand, and you do a spiral the other way. Overlapping 50%. And then tape it down. Thank you. And then your last layer will be a spiral the first direction. So the roll's in my right hand. You just want different patterns from one layer to the next to prevent it from sliding down. If you have the same pattern on each layer, it will slide down easier. Okay, that's the lower leg. Now, if you're just doing the lower leg, you would just take your stockinette and roll it over right here, but I'm going to continue doing the upper leg, so we'll leave it up. So our patient then stands up for the next part. Careful, there's a jump. And I sit on the floor because it's easier on my back. Yeah. And you take your white cotton layer and you're going to go around the knee to pad up the bony areas of the knee. And then you take your foam pieces. Can you hold that one right there? And right there. Okay. Have your patient hold the foam. It's easier on you. And you take your white gauze layer and anchor it down. And this is just to hold the foam in place and to get some of the air out of the foam. I know it's a little high for you, sorry. Okay, and then you take you have 4 of the 12s, the extra large ones. And you're going to start under the knee. This is the only one that starts under the knee. So it looks like a snail again. You anchor it under the knee. And then you roll it up and you go just behind the knee, come up to the thigh, go once around the thigh, and then come back down behind the knee. So you've made an X on the back of the knee. And then you just keep coming around the knee to cover the rest of the white. You're just coming up as much as you can. Taping down each time. Your second 12, you start above the knee like a snail again. And this one you just do a spiral. Switching hands, giving it a tug each time you switch hands, overlapping 50%. And then your next layer, you can either do the herringbone like I like to do, or it would be easier to do the reverse spiral. So just turn it around and spiral up, overlapping 50%. A little tug, try not to have any wrinkles. And then your final layer is your extra large 12. And I just need to cover from here to the top of the foam. And you just test your compression gradient. Is it too hard, get softer, that's where you start your layer. So right about here, overlapping 50%. Tug as you switch hands and just cover the rest of the foam. And this foam is too long for him. So I would cut down that foam at the top. And then you tape it down as hard as you can. Use as many pieces of tapes as you have. I think that's all I have. Okay. And then you would take the top of the stockinette and fold it over. So I would cut my foam right here, but I would pull the stockinette over and then just tape down the top of the stockinette. And that is our compression of the whole lower leg. Thank you.